Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me for WLBT Plus. My name is Carrie. I'm your digital news desk host, and it is Tuesday, the 22nd of April. I can't believe I had to look at my watch, but that is runoff election day. A lot of people, hopefully, a lot of people are getting out to the polls today to let their voice be heard once again in several different races across the area. We're going to be talking more about those in just a little bit. We did have some breaking news that came out earlier today, which we do want to touch on real quick before we jump into the rest of the news. And sadly, what it is a Copiah County man is now dead after he was found in the Ross Barnett Reservoir. So, according to the reservoir police chief, Carlos de Puma, a witness saw the man going onto the Ross Barnett as bad weather came in this morning. They then received a call about an abandoned boat in the Goshen area around 10 o'clock this morning. We do have crews that are out there live right now, and I'm going to take it live to where they are right now just so you can see. Remember, this is raw video. Well, this is live video from the area. So as you can see, that is the individual's boat that was found abandoned. That the call came in about this morning. So so again, they received that call about 10 o'clock this morning of the abandoned boat. Officers arrived on the scene to find the empty boat near the boat ramp. That's at the Goshen Springs South boat ramp on Highway 43. So during the investigation of the abandoned boat, officers did discover a man's body in the water. He was wearing clothes that fit the description that had been provided by the witness earlier. It is believed at this time that he was struck by lightning. However, to have a clear determination, we're waiting to hear back from the coroner on that. We'll have to get that information from the coroner. So there were multiple agencies that responded to the scene. Of course, Rankin County Emergency Operations Center, Mississippi Department of Wildlife, Fisheries, and Parks, as well as others that responded. And officials from Copiah County are currently reaching out to the man's family to notify him of this accident that happened. So again, this happened at the Goshen Springs South boat ramp. The call came in around 10 o'clock this morning of an abandoned boat. And when the police arrived there, they did find the abandoned boat. It had drifted back to the boat ramp, but they also saw the man's body in the water, or a man's body in the water wearing the clothing that fit the description that was given by a witness. As more information comes in to us, we will, of course, pass that along to you. But again, it appears at this time that he was struck by lightning, although we will have to wait for confirmation from the coroner to know if that is for sure. That is just what we've been told at this time by officials. Our thoughts, of course, go out to the family of this individual, and they believe that it was an elderly man. So, like I said, as soon as we get more information, we will certainly pass that along to all of you. There was a fire overnight here in Jackson. It happened in South Jackson. We'll go ahead and jump straight into the news here. So the fire that happened, it was in the South Hill Square Shopping Center. So let me get this pulled up for you guys. Here is where the fire happened. You can see we have Daniel Lake Boulevard there and Terry Road, and of course where the fire was at the South Hills Square Shopping Center. So we got to the scene just after 1 o'clock this morning. There's no word on this time as to what caused the fire. Don't have any information if there was any injuries or anything like that, but we will keep you updated, of course, as we get the information on that fire. But again, this was the South Hill Square Shopping Center, and it was located on Terry Road. It happened just after 1 o'clock this morning. And Capitol Police say that they have now arrested a suspect in a murder that happened yesterday at a downtown apartment complex. So the shooting happened at on North State Street near Barksdale Street, and I'm gonna get this pulled up for you so I'll show you where this is located in relation to downtown Jackson. So zoom in right here. This is where the apartment is located at. We have North State Street, Barksdale Street right here. So in an exclusive video from that crime scene that we have here, Capitol Police say that 65-year-old Willie Thomas was taken into custody for this. He's accused in the deadly shooting that happened there. So the victim was taken to a hospital where he did die from the injuries he received in this shooting. The name of the victim has not yet been released. We will update you when that comes in. And Jackson police say that they have identified a person of interest in another homicide that happened on Monday. They have the where this was located. So JPD says that a man was shot on Sears Street near West Ridgeway Street. I apologize. So this is the location here on the map. We have West Ridgeway Street here, Sears Street, Livingston Road. And if we zoom out, show you where this is in relation to downtown Jackson, which downtown Jackson is going to be in this area right where the hospitals, of course, near where that is. Nope, I'm sorry, I'm wrong. Let me pull that a little bit more. Here we go. Downtown Jackson is in the bottom center of your screen, and where the shooting happened on Sears Street is here at the top of your screen, top center. So the individual in this shooting did later die at a Jackson hospital. His name has not yet been released either. Investigators didn't give us any further information about the person of interest in that case, only that they have identified a person of interest in this homicide. Again, on Sears Street near West Ridgeway Street, that happened. And a incredibly sad story coming out of Scott County, where a father and a stepmother are now charged in the beating death of a 3-year-old boy in Scott County. So Scott County Sheriff Mike Lee says that Rodkis Fenderson is charged with murder and Kiera Patrick is charged with accessory after the fact. The sheriff say that last week the boy was reported missing and had not been seen by family members. However, investigators discovered that the child had been beaten to death in late January. The sheriff says Fenderson then showed investigators on Friday where the child was buried. Incredibly sad, tragic. That is just absolutely tragic there. But again, this is coming out of Scott County, and is the father and stepmother who are being charged in the death of that 3-year-old child. Horrible, horrible. It's just really, there's no other word for it, just horrible and tragic that would even happen. And if we go down to Tylertown now, Tylertown police are looking for whoever's responsible for shooting at a mobile home on Martin Luther King Drive there in Tylertown. So police say around 27 rounds were discharged from what may have been an AK-47 style weapon striking the home. A nearby home was also hit with bullet fragments. People were in both homes at the time. Thankfully, though, no one was injured. If you do have any information on this, you can contact the Tylertown police. And as I always say, if you live in that area, this happened on Martin Luther King Drive there in Tylertown. If you live in that area, if you have security cameras, Ring doorbell cameras, anything like that, look over them, see if you see anything, if you hear anything out of the ordinary, and pass that information along to the police. So hopefully those that are responsible for this can be brought to justice, brought in and questioned about it at the very least. But yeah, so pass that information along to Tylertown Police Department if you have anything. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and jump into the weather and look at what our weather forecast is supposed to be. We do know rain. We definitely know rain. We've been having rain yesterday, today, and it's going to continue. But if we look at our temperatures right now, we can see we're sitting in the upper 70s, 80s, even in a couple of places. Pretty mild out there currently. And if we look at our current radar, so we do have areas of scattered storms, scattered rain across the area. Some of those showers could be heavy. I mean, if you see the red there, that would be areas of heavy rain, but not necessarily severe weather. If we look at our next 12 hours, we are continuing with the trend of having rain in the forecast. So we drop down into the mid 60s overnight, and a 7-day forecast, you can see more rain. It does slack off as we get to the weekend, which is good. There's a lot of fun things happening in our area this weekend, but we're just going to have more and more rain until we get to the weekend. Then Monday, looking at a high of 90 on Monday and 0% chance of rain. Hopefully that can stick around, and we can keep with having. I don't know. Would not 90 is not mild. That would be the wrong thing for me to say. But we cannot not go to the hundreds so fast as we do here in Mississippi. We're going to look at the primary elections, what's happening around the area. But first, before we do that, let's hear from our sponsors over at Jackson Water.
Time for a neighborly tip from Jackson Water. Is it okay to pour fats, oils, and greases down the drain if I run hot water?
No!
What if I run the garbage disposal?
No!
How about if I use dish soap at the same time?
No!
Instead, hang on to a few containers to store and toss old cooking fat and grease once you're done. Jackson Water. Water for all the time.
And again, thanks to Jackson Water for sponsoring WLBT Plus. We do appreciate them very much for that. Well, let's talk about the runoff elections that are happening today. As I'm sure everybody is aware of, we've been talking about it a lot. And the main reason why is because typically when you have a runoff election, there's not a lot of people that show up to the polls for those. And so we're hoping that changes today. We're hoping that everybody gets out and votes, whether whoever the candidate may be for, get out and exercise your right to vote. So, of course, the polls opened at 7 o'clock this morning, and the winners from today's election will go on to the general election in June, where, at least for the mayoral candidates, they'll be for everybody, where they're going to meet up with the independent candidates that are on the ticket right now. So one of the biggest races that people are watching is the Democratic primary for right here in Jackson, between the current mayor, Chokwe Antar Lumumba, and State Senator John Horn. So when we spoke with the current mayor, Mayor Lumumba, he spoke about a lot of his achievements that he has had in his time as mayor of Jackson. He says that his administration is responsible for paving over 100 roads, eliminating 100 blighted properties, and getting $800 million for infrastructure, as well as reducing crime and homicides. Now, Senator John Horn tells us that he's brought 500 affordable housing units to the city. Also, the JSU Metro Parkway, the Leonard Court development on Ferris Street, and the Telecom Center, which is now the Convention Center. He says that he's also helped with the funding for the Civil Rights Museum. So that's the two candidates here for the Democratic primary. We do have a few other races. There's also going to be the Republican primary. Let me pull this one up for you guys so you can see. So this is who is running in the Republican runoff. We have Wilford Beal and Kenny G. So, of course, voting in the Democrat or voting for Republican. These are your choices, at least here and Jackson. Now, there are a few other races that are happening here in the metro area. So we have the Ward 6 Council for Jackson, Ward 7 Council person for Jackson. Over in Canton, of course, we have the mayor runoff there for the Democratic Party, and we're going to be looking at that in just a second. And Canton, we also have the Ward 4 alderman and Ward 5 alderman. And those are just a couple of the races. So I say a couple, this is a few of the races that are happening. So don't forget, get out and vote. Polls close at 7, and you have to be in line by 7 p.m. to cast your vote. Now, we talked to Senator John Horn yesterday as well regarding some comments that he had made on the campaign trail that he says had been taken out of context. So his campaign said at a candidate forum earlier this year that the Lumumba administration was attacking Horn in his role as state senator for not providing more help to the mayor and to the city. Horn responded to that, said it was because of Lumumba's poor relationship with the Republican majority legislator. Said it's difficult to fight to get resources for Jackson. So the campaign says Horn's exact words to the mayor at that event were, "You should be satisfied getting crumbs based on your poor relationship with the legislator." Here is what Horn had to say to us on yesterday.
The phrases were taken out of context. I was actually talking about how difficult it is to get anything done in a Republican-controlled majority where they have a supermajority, and it can be very frustrating to Black legislators and Democratic legislators. So I apologize for the words that I used. They were mishandled and not the words I would have chosen with greater thought.
So Horn says that it was based on Mayor Lumumba's poor relationship with the state and not the people of Jackson. And he stands by the gist of what he was trying to say in there. But he says that the comments that were coming out, they were taken out of context, but yet he did apologize for saying them. Now, if we look up to Canton, I was back to Canton as rather, goodness gracious, I'm getting my words all tongue-tied, aren't I? All right, so looking back in Canton, Madison County judge issued an order covering voters in an annexed area of Canton who say they were not allowed to cast a ballot in the primary election. So according to court documents that were obtained by 3 on Your Side, the judge rejected the request to hold back certification on the election until voters who live in the annexed area have been given the opportunity to cast a ballot on a regular voting machine. The judge did say any eligible voter can go to the polls for the runoff election today. And the annexed areas include those of you who live in the Trails of Madison, the Kingston subdivision, and the mobile home community, which is also known as the West Side Trailer Park. So you can still go vote. You can still go vote. The results, however, will not be counted until those that were not allowed to cast a ballot in the primary election are allowed to cast that ballot. And the city of Canton does have its primary mayoral runoff election today for the Democratic candidates. We hear from both of those candidates who are vying for the city of Canton's top seat. Here they are right here. So Camelia Walker finished first in the primary earlier this month. Ward 5 Alderman Tim Scott Taylor came in second. So we spoke with both of them about why you should vote for them, and they also shared their vision for the city of Canton.
So this one opportunity that you have to put the people in place that will work for you, we have to take advantage of that. Do not get distracted. Do not grow weary.
We're far behind the 8 ball. We got to catch up. We've been at the bottom, but just because we've been at the bottom don't mean we're supposed to get used to being there.
So, of course, like we said earlier, the polls are open right now. They will be open until 7 o'clock tonight, and you have to be in line by 7 o'clock in order to cast your vote. But please get out and vote. Whoever it is you vote for, get out and vote. It is our right. It's our right as American citizens to get out and vote, and it is a way for you to be able to have your voice heard as far as who is leading your area, who is representing you. So get out there and cast your votes. And of course, we are going to be here all day covering those votes as the numbers come in. We have CJ Lemaster, Quentin Smith that are going to be following these, Chris Fields, all of these guys. And of course, all of our hardworking staff here at the station will be collecting those voting numbers and getting you the results as soon as they come in to us. Now we're going to go to a 3 on your side follow-up. Work is set to begin on a sinkhole here in Jackson. Now it's on Denver Street near Long Street. I'm going to show you where it is on the map here. So this is Denver Street right here. And you can actually see the pothole from the satellite camera, but let's zoom out a little bit so you get a little bit better of an idea. We have Jackson right here in the right bottom of your screen, and then Denver Street where the sinkhole is right here. So Mayor Lumumba says that crews are going to begin working sometime this week. Now we have video where you can see just how big this pothole is. It's from a previous report that we did. The mayor is advising people to stay away from the area. Says also, if you notice a sinkhole, call 311 to report it to the city. But this is it. And of course, look, we have here the Google Earth video of it, or image of it. I also pulled up the Google Earth because I wanted to be able to show you guys this sinkhole. Here we go, right here. So this looks like this is from 2025, according to Google Maps. Now, if we go in closer, which you just saw a little bit of the video I showed you there, if you go in closer, a street level through Google, you can see the sinkhole here. This was actually taken in May of 2023. Let me go full screen, see if you guys can see this a little better. Nope. It doesn't show it any better there. Let me come back here. So down here in the bottom of the screen, it shows the different dates that the street view images were taken. So this particular street view image is from May of 2023. If we go back to February of 2022, you can see where it was starting to form. Somebody even stuck some tires in the hole to make it obvious so people would see it. If we go back to 2016, I can see this is the area where the sinkhole would be, but it was not there in 2016. However, it has been there since at least 2022, according to the Google data here, because you can see the dates when they took the street view. So thankfully, that sinkhole is now getting fixed, or at least they say that it will be, the repairs to fix it will begin sometime this week. We will, of course, follow it, see if that happens, and let you guys know about that. And in Madison County, some road projects are moving along and have some new projected completion dates. I know something that a lot of you that live in Madison County will be happy to hear about. So Calhoun Station Parkway will be ready for shovels this July. Improvements at the intersection of Bozeman and Catlett Road should be completed by this fall. 2026, though, is when the majority of the project's designs will be done. That includes widening Yandle Road from Highway 51 to North Old Canton Road, and the intersection and Stribling Road from Deweese to Catlett Road. Engineers are saying, though, that the Stribling Road projects could take a little longer because of Yazoo clay in the area.
About halfway through Devlin Springs, the two entrances, the material is consistently unsuitable, primarily in the form of expensive clay, which is part of the reason why you can't drink a cup of coffee driving west from Lake Caroline. It's just rolls everywhere. And that material is not suitable to build your new road upon. And there's a couple other spots where the material may not be clay, but is soft and weak.
I like his description there. It's not something suitable for you to drink your coffee while driving down the road on. I know there's some roads where it almost feels like a roller coaster that you can be on going up and down. So construction for Bozeman Road Phase 2 won't begin until 2027. Residents living east of North Old Canton along Yandell Road will have to wait until January of 2028 before their 2 lanes are turned into 5. Weisenberger's roads construction date has been pushed back to March of 2029. So that's some updates for you guys on the road work that is happening in Madison County. Back here in Hinds County, we do have some progress on the new Hinds County jail that is being built here in Jackson. So Sheriff Tyree Jones released new pictures of the progress. Phase 1 will include 122 beds, 60 23-hour holding units, and multiple areas for things like food service and medical triage. Once it's completed, the new jail will replace the existing Hinds County Detention Center, which is over near Raymond. Well, that is going to be it for WLBT Plus today with me. I will be back tomorrow at 1. Thank you all for tuning in and hanging out with me for a little while as I bring you the news updates. And don't forget to download our mobile app as we get the updates on different stories that we've given or new things that come in. We send out those alerts over our mobile app. And so you'll be able to get that breaking news as soon as it comes into us. You also want to make sure you're here at 2:30 today for our First Alert weather team so that they can give you the details on our forecast and the rain that is going to be coming through, if we can expect any type of severe weather, or if it's just going to be some rainy conditions. You want to hear that from our meteorologists themselves. So 2:30 today is when you can do that. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Bye-bye.